Jeez, look at the speed of that. Right, what do we have here? I'll tell you what we've got here. The new home of the rural project. 50 acres of untouched forest just outside of Ballan. So we didn't video this the other day when we came. We came in, we had a look around and we went, oh yeah, this is the one. Now there's a lot of work to do, but yeah, over a very short period of time, just a few days, we put an offer in, got accepted, and yeah, we got to put deposits down and finalise that, but it was looking very, very likely. So what we've got is the property on the left hand side. You can just see the fence line just there. We'll kind of show you a bit of a perimeter, but yeah, it's kind of quite narrow here. Neighbour's dam just there, so this would be a narrow driveway leading through. Very, very overgrown, as you can see. But then once you get back 50-100 metres, it opens right out nice and wide, and it just disappears off into the distance. Right, and then once you come sort of 50 metres in, maybe a little bit more, it then starts to open out and the fence is sort of starting to veer off away. There is neighbours over on this side, but as you say, once you get past their sort of house, it really starts to open out and get wider and wider. So our initial thoughts would be, yeah, put an access road in through there and just keep coming along here with an access road, and then create ourselves towards the top of the hill up here, create ourselves a nice open flat area where you could put a house. And for all those firewood fanatics out there, look at all that timber. Right, and that's a view back towards where the car's parked, back towards the driveway down there. I don't know if you can see it on camera, but there is a faint sort of four-wheel drive track that's been through here in the past. The neighbours on this side, again on camera you can possibly see the light colour of the roof. So as the driveways come together, they take a left and head right over in that direction to get to their house. The neighbours on this side are a lot closer, but maybe you can see once we've started to get more into the middle of this land and we've got a bit of elevation, you actually don't see the neighbours. So still plenty of exploring to do, and some absolute beautiful timber in here. A lot of work to do on the ground though. As you can see, there's a lot of timber that's been downed. A lot of storms have blown through here, a lot of big branches come down, a lot of clear up to do. So for me and Nath, this is exactly what we've been looking at, an absolute clean slate. Something we can come to, put our machines and our skills to the use. And we kind of expect an area in here, Nath, yeah, where we'd clear it. And we talk about some of the trees in here. Look at that monster. You're going to hear Bailey running past us. He's enjoying himself, got a little bit of freedom and some extra land to explore. Right, so we just come down off that hill. It's just a slight drop. This area is a little bit lower. As you can see, with all the ferns and everything that are in here, just a little bit of a natural gully. It's not super steep, but it's definitely a low spot. I mean, we're just at the back end of winter now, and it's not flooded, but I would imagine this is the area that gets wet in winter. And then what we've got, we have another little hill there. We go over like an easement, and then on the back side of that there is another hill, which is pretty cool. So we're just walking along, looking at the maps and just double checking our orientation, and hopefully you can see the red mark, a red spray paint. And then when we turn around, that tree there, red spray paint. So we are right on the boundary. So this line of red spray painted trees, that is the boundary. So that away is all the land we're looking at, and to the left is the neighbours. but it goes way back into the distance. How deep is it, Nath? You remember?
Oh, the deepest part is about 900 metres off the road.
Right, so sort of close to a kilometre off the road from where we first came in. And we've only done a couple hundred metres up to now. Right, we're about 200 yards in. 200, 300 yards in. And Nath just sort of mentioned this area here would actually be ideal as well for a house. You can't see the neighbours who are in that location, and the way this works, that is all state forest once we go the other 700 metres, so basically ain't nobody going to mess your view up, whatever view you create. And as we're orientated now, sun will rise off to the right and go over and set off to the left. So if you can create yourself, you know, get a few trees down, thin it all out pretty nice, you get yourself a nice view, and you will get yourself a beautiful sunrise and sunset as well. All that dappled light through the trees. Grrr. Okay, so about halfway through the property. To be honest, this is kind of one of the downsides, one of the negatives really. The rest of it's all positives, but one of the negatives is halfway along there's a road. This road is for yeah, it's through the state park. It's an easement. It's got to be maintained. Doesn't get a huge amount of use. Oh my god, look at the dog. Oh, crazy bloody dog. Don't get a huge amount of use, but we carry on way off into there as well, so it's yeah, interesting one. But listen, you know how long we've been looking to try and find the right property, so for us having this easement through the middle of the forest is not an issue. We'd rather get this than carry on looking for months and months like we have been doing. Right, so we are now on the other side of that easement road, and yeah, this is all part of it. As you can tell, looking at all the grasses on the ground, kind of some type of small reed. This is all part of it. It's a lowland area, but in the distance there it just starts to kick up, and we'll walk to the top of that, and we think that is kind of the extent of the property. We've run out of markers now. I guess it was the neighbours that have had their property line marked. Yeah, we've run out of markers showing us where this one is, but yeah, doing a bit of cross referencing with topo maps and some imagery, aerial imagery and stuff. We're pretty certain it's, yeah, just beyond the top of that hill. And there are some magnificent trees. Look at the state of that one. How big that is. We have absolutely no idea exactly what tree it is. It's a gum tree, but exactly what type we're not too sure. It looks like stringy bark, but it's different shape to normal. Well, look at the canopy, it's absolutely ginormous. And then you get a big open area here. Here's the one tree that's come down. Big open canopy above us. Right, let's get to the top of that little hill. Right, we're on the top of this little rise. Sort of heading back. That's back towards the car, just to orientate you. So at some point over there, not exactly too sure, the boundary stops and the national park starts. So we did talk with the owners about them surveying it for us beforehand, which they weren't prepared to do. So we negotiated down on the price a little bit based on that. It's not something we'd die in a ditch over. Not really too fussed, but it would be useful. So we'll make a decision later whether we think it's worth doing it or not. As you can see, there's a lot of trees on the ground. This is yellow box. and that forest is just ginormous. Goes on forever. Right, we are going to head that away because there's another road that joins our property, sort of heading that way, so we'll go that way till we hit the road and then head back towards the car.
I'm gonna have a go look at that.
Just heading through and the sun's coming out to shine on this new purchase. Look at this tree. Look at, I think we'll call that twisted gum. Absolutely no idea what sort of gum tree that is. Anybody out there know what it is? Look at the way the bark's twisted. Go around that side and show it without the light shining in the camera. Within? Yeah. Right. Right, look at that. And some little critters made a home in there. Bit of ball of fare there. Don't know what it would be, maybe a wombat. Right, we're just carrying on up to the top of another little rise. So our car is still off to the left. And that little road, that road that we were talking about, the easement, that is off to the left as well. But all of this is part of the property. Beautiful natural forest. It's got real potential for me and Nath this. We can make something of this. And being just pretty close to Ballan, which got real potential growth as well, monetary growth. Be a growth area in years to come. And then you look back, there's just a little gully running down here. There's another Forest Service road a bit further in that direction, which we'll join in a second. It is unbelievable, this place. Happy Nath, are you?
Yeah.
But we know we've got a lot of work ahead of us, but we're not afraid of a bit of work. Got a lot of knowledge now with all the things we've been doing over the years, so yeah, we'll be quite comfortable getting on with this. So at some point in that distance, I'm not too sure how far, but at some point in that distance, National Park starts. So to be honest, this would be an absolute beautiful spot for a tiny house. Clear a few trees and get a bit of a view into the distance there. That'd be awesome.
Down the valley there. Yeah, this is what we were talking about last time, wasn't it? This spot.
Yeah, we said this would be nice to put a house on.
We were saying, Kez, it's too far to kind of build a house on it. Way too far out of the way. But that's all your property and then state park. So if you had a tiny house up here, it would be a fantastic place, wouldn't it? Beautiful big trees, and it's already open over there. You wouldn't take much, and you'd have nice
I think we're close to that Forest Service road just here, Nate.
Yeah. Even the fact that you've got a variation here in the trees, a few different types, it makes it look nicer too.
Yeah, they are varying, aren't they? There's more of these ghost gums in this area.
Stringies. Yeah.
Right, where'd that dog go? Okay, so we're heading back towards the car. Car's sort of in that direction. We've crossed over the easement, and this is a little four-wheel drive track that follows kind of the boundary of the property. If you have a look there, there's a decent old post covered in barbed wire. and that's great because that actually aligns with what we reckoned, where this sort of four-wheel drive track, which is actually shown on the map. This four-wheel drive track aligns with the edge of the boundary of the property, so that's cool. Heads that way, and then we should kick off to the left in a little bit, get us back towards the car. Well, I think we'll find a way around this tree. Kerry won't be climbing over, barely does. Straight through the middle, we'll go around. Right, we're not far from the car now. What you can see in front of us is a bit of a low area. So when we were stood initially talking about where a house would go, that was on the top of that little rise. And I know it's really hard to see on the cameras to sort of see the changes in elevation, but there's a rise in the land there, then it drops down into this low-lying area, and then back in the distance over there. That's where those red markers were on the tree, a couple of 100 meters that way. We'll walk through this low-lying area, and it won't be long, we'll be back to the car. Well, we're just wandering back to the car. Look at that for a widowmaker. Hopefully I can zoom in on that. That tree has literally just popped in the middle. There must have been a fault in the trunk there, and as the wind's blown, it's actually just popped apart in the middle, and yeah, just fallen down. It's now very nastily hung up in that tree. There's a branch that's disconnected there, and the rest of it, as you can see, is hung up. That might be one of the ones we bring down first.
Yep, so we're nearly back to the car. The car's maybe 150, 200 meters that way, the driveway we came up. This is the neighbour's property through that cleared section, and where we are is quite a nice flat between a gully and then the valley through there, and that's where the sun sets as well. So this could be another potential place to clear a home site. There's so many spots around here. I reckon there would be at least 4 very feasible places, all with their own challenges in terms of road access and changing topography. But ultimately, you've got a few options. You can prioritize sunsets, you can prioritize sunrise, or you can prioritize being secluded from the neighbors and having a nice view. So there's a lot to consider. As we walk back to the car now, it is starting to rain pretty heavy. But it's been really nice to explore the property and get to show Mum as well what it's all about. See quite a few of these widowmakers around too, which is pretty easy firewood for us, and also doing the right thing to create a little bit of safety when you're walking and driving around and exploring the property. So the driveway and the road, now I can see it. I'm sure the camera won't be able to see it, but it's maybe 100 meters through there.
Right, Nath, we're going to have to end it here, mate. It's starting to chuck it down, and we need to get back to the car, and you're going to get to work for this afternoon's shift.
That's it.
We'll see you guys next time on the Rural Project, but this thing is looking really promising right now. We haven't signed on the dotted line anywhere, and neither has the seller, but we've accepted the offer. We're keen, they're keen. We've got a few things still to work out, but these are minor details.
Fingers crossed.
Right, catch you next time on
the Rural Project.